Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. We are going to talk about Moon Rahu conjunction. Whenever Moon and Rahu are together in any sign in your horoscope, what kind of general results we can expect. And this is considered a sensitive conjunction. So we are going to discuss it in detail, the positive part as well as the negative part. And if you are experiencing any negative results of this conjunction in your life, then what are the remedies to improve upon the effects that it is bringing in your personality as well as the life. So that also we are going to discuss. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, or you are also interested in learning astrology and want to take a course, then you can go on this website. The link is shown in description. You can also check on the WhatsApp number shown below for inquiring more about consultation and courses. So we are going to talk about Moon and Rahu today. This is generally considered a very sensitive situation for Moon, and it's not a really good combination considered in astrology. The reason is simple, because Moon and Mercury are two planets which easily get influenced by other planets and rashis where they are sitting. So if Moon is sitting with any planet, it will be easily influenced by that planet. And since Rahu is a big enemy to Moon, it eclipses the Moon. So Moon Rahu is known as Chandra Grahan Yoga. Grahan means lunar eclipse. So here it eclipses whenever Moon, Sun are in association, means in conjunction with Rahu or Ketu. They make grahan, means eclipse. And since Moon is our mind, thinking, emotions, feelings, how we are as a person, our desires, and if that planet which is governing that, it becomes weak, afflicted, and Rahu is impacting that in a negative way, then it can bring a lot of problems also. So we are going to discuss both the elements today. This conjunction is not always bad, but it is a very sensitive situation. It has to be looked closely if anybody has that. And we are going to look at this conjunction occurring in various signs. The fire sign, water signs, earth signs, and air signs. So what are the different results of this conjunction occurring in various types of zodiac signs also. Common results that we can expect, that we are going to talk about first, and then we'll move on to the particular rashis. So first of all, Rahu is obsession. Moon is our mind. Things, both of them, they represent things which attract us, tempt us. So generally, it can show a nature for obsession. Obsession can be for anything. It can be towards a subject, towards a thing, towards some person, towards anything in life. So obsession and heavy attraction can be given by this conjunction. And since Rahu Ketu are always in front of each other, so obsession never lasts. Attraction, temptation, they never last for long. So the problem here is that it can show initial obsession, high attraction, but later on, immediate, sudden detachment and disconnect. The same thing which you were wanting so badly, and now you got that, and immediately Ketu starts in front of Rahu, and Ketu, it's like, no, I don't want it anymore. So that kind of attitude, because Moon is like, okay, Moon is wavering. Rahu is also wavering. Rahu is like, okay, I got it, I don't care anymore. Valuelessness. Once you got that thing, now you don't care about that. That is Rahu. So Rahu is always like intense desires, never-ending desires. So desires, you are chasing the world continuously. So you got, and then you move on to the next. You got it again, then move on to the next. Never satisfied, never content with anything. So it can show the cycle of obsession and detachment, continuous cycle of obsession and detachment. It can also show a tendency to get easily influenced by society, by people, by trends, and a FOMO kind of thing which is going on most of the time. Then it can also enhance curiosity towards knowing things. Because Rahu is all about curiosity and Moon is your mind. The mind is quite curious about things. It can be anything. It can be a person, a subject, anything in the world. So, but the problem most of the time which is seen here is attention. Means a concentration can be wavering. Confusion can be occurring on a higher scale, due to which even if the initial excitement is there, a lot of initial interest is there in certain things to learn, but the focus is not there. Concentration is not there for a long time. So tendency to move from one place to another, to shift focus can be seen. and don't stick to one thing in the long run. Whenever let's suppose I got interest in astrology, but now when it takes time to learn it in detail, and I need to devote a lot of time and with full concentration, then it can show problems there. So this can be an example. Now it can also show a continuous endless desires. Like I said, moon and Rahu are both desires, so cycle of desires which are originating, never ending. Too much thoughts, thinking a lot, anxiety issues, and it gives a lot of attachment. Moon Rahu are both attachment to things. So attachment towards anything in your life, your people in life, your relations, your career, your family, your money, your possessions, anything, yourself. So anything, it can show a lot of attachment. And attachment, in a way, attachment is different from love. So attachment has always a sense of selfishness, I-ness, it belongs to me. So that kind of thing, it can lead to a continuous cycle of fear towards losing things. What if it ends up badly? What if I lose this thing? That kind of negative mental pattern, because Rahu is neuroticism. Moon is your mind. So Rahu will always throw neurotic thoughts in it. So anxiety, panic, fear, neediness, clinginess, insecurity, doubt, confusion, fickleness, mood swings, it can bring these things. And no matter what rashi, it can show this attitude. And moon is your mother, so it can also show that if this conjunction is occurring fine, your fourth lord, fourth house is okay, and this yoga is present, then it can show good relations with mother, closeness to mother. But if yogas like fourth lord, fourth house is not well placed, moon is getting damaged by other planets, and they are not sitting in good rashi. Good rashi means that where they are debilitated, or where moon and Rahu are not feeling well, like in fire signs, like in Aries, signs of Mars mainly. So they create hassle there. They can show troubles to mother or troubles with mother. So maybe the mother has a lot of health issues, or mother passed away, absent mother, no emotional support from mother, or abusive, traumatic, disturbed, distant, bad relationship with mother. It can also show that. So depending on the chart. And moon Rahu also have capability to induce any kind of trauma or abuse or damage depending on the yogas. You don't have to just judge by this conjunction. Other planets also play a role, and their rashi plays a very, very significant role. So that is why we'll understand with each rashi. But moon Rahu has a potential, like I said, to get easily influenced by other people. So company matters a lot. And in this case, what is important is that, let's suppose the yogas for good company are there, that you will have a good social circle, good circle of friends. Then obviously the influence will be positive. Influence is not always negative. So it means that you are a person who can be easily influenced by other people. So if the company is fine, you are in a good company, then obviously the positive characteristics, you will be influenced by them, and vice versa. If the company is bad, the yogas are not good in the chart, they can show possibilities of bad habits and such people in life, then obviously influenced by that. So that can be seen. That is why this yoga becomes very sensitive in situation. Okay. Now we'll talk about in various signs. So first of all, we'll start with fire signs. So if it is happening in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And one more thing, you have to see the degrees of this conjunction. The more close they are, the more impact it will hold. And if moon is behind Rahu, like moon is 15 degrees, Rahu is 17, 18, 20 degrees, then its impact will be much higher, because Rahu is ahead. Rahu is completely clouding the mind. It's like that. So you just see how tight this conjunction is. But fire signs, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, if it is occurring in fire signs, certain characteristic features can be seen in personality as well as life. So first of all, fire signs represent ego in our lives. So ego does not mean your pride. It can show pride, of course, pride and arrogance, but ego means the identity, the things which you associate with. It will reinforce those identities a lot. For example, I am Indian, I am a Hindu, I am this and this person, I have this career, I belong to such and such lineage or family. Anything which I associate or I identify with, so that will be reinforced a lot. So it can show high ego, independence, stubbornness, nature for control, domination, bossy behavior, high ambitions, a rebellious attitude, assertive in nature, boldness, competitive spirit, toughness, relentless, never give up no matter what, a tendency to think that they are always right, a sense of moral superiority, belief that my thinking, my perception, my worldview is supreme and correct all the time. And hence, natural nature for having some arrogance in life can be seen. It can show anger and drama can be seen depending on the condition of other planets also, not all the time, but yes, if let's suppose Mars and the Rashi dispositor like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, if the dispositor of the planets Rashis is not good, then it can show negative tendencies. But in general, it can show high aggression. Public image also matters a lot. So here, Rajasic Tattva. Rajasic means the affinity towards power, authority, position, name, status, respect matters a lot. Self-respect matters a lot. If Sun and Mars are powerful, they can show this. Then it also has a potential to bring a certain element of fanaticism and rigidity in own belief system or ideologies most of the time. If ninth house or Jupiter are not well placed, this can be seen. Then highly opinionated individual, it can bring that. Then depending on the condition of Sun and Mars, it can induce narcissism, high ego or egomania. It can be reflected because Sun and Mars are the controllers of ego. Moon is your emotion. Moon will see the it will identify with the ego mode, and Rahu expands everything, explodes everything. So depending on the condition of Sun and Mars, it can induce this. You have to check it closely, but yes, it is possible. And Moon is mother, so in this situation it can show a strict, controlling, protective mother who instills values in you. Then in relationships, it can make person quite controlling, dominating, possessive and bossy in nature, and ability to see one's own faults is very poor. In these rashis, it becomes very challenging until unless there are no particular planets or yogas which are compensating this. It will be very hard. And here whatever the person thinks, they think that they are right most of the time, so they are not able to judge or assess that where they are going wrong. That becomes a big issue. That is why self introspection becomes a very hard task. Now we talk about earth and air signs. So earth and air signs, both of them give common results in this conjunction. So earth signs are 2, 6, 8 Taurus, Virgo, 2, 6, 10 Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, and then Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, air signs. So earth and air signs, Rahu feels very comfortable here. Moon also feels generally comfortable here. So these signs become really favorable for this conjunction to occur, and generally it can make person quite materialistic in nature. So materialistic means for a person for whom money, wealth, luxuries, good house, cars, having fun, having good social life, having relationships, enjoyment of the world matters, and a good career, all these things, they matter. So that is all material world. So it does not mean that it is bad. It is fine. So not everybody is very religious or detached or is philosophical. There are most of the people who are materialistic only, working in the world, for the world, and living and enjoying for the world. So that kind of thing. So in air and earth signs, this potential enhances. So these things matter a lot, and for through these things, Moon feels content, because Moon is our happiness. Moon is our peace of mind. Moon is the sense of contentment. So if Moon and Rahu are bringing a lot of desires, in these rashis, they enhance a lot of desires, big desires which are not ending at all. And even if you are accumulating a lot of things, you are getting a lot of things, but they are not ending. So in these situations, these rashis, it can bring this. So it can make person successful. It can make person, it can give person all the things which you are craving or desiring. But at the end, the sense of satisfaction, fulfillment, contentment, that isn't there very easily. It's not there. So here, but these things matter. So all the material aspects, the possessions, they become very relevant to feel, to have a sense of self-worth and to feel secure and safe and somewhat happy. So that kind of thing becomes relevant in these rashis. And in these rashis, it can either make person quite extrovert or ambivert, not introvert most of the times. It gives a good social life, a good social connection, social circle, can make person fun loving and social, gives a very good communication. So either verbal or written or whatever, any kind or any form of communication is very good. You have to see Mercury, how Mercury is. If Mercury is also well placed, then this becomes more, I'll say, strong. So here it can show ability to communicate well in a persuasive, impressive, charismatic way, and you are able to, most of the time you are able to get your way through your good speech and communication and ideas. It's like that, because Rahu is very clever. Rahu is not Rahu is not naive. Moon is naive, but Rahu isn't. So Rahu, he and Moon in this situation, it can make person very practical and somewhat opportunistic. Opportunistic not in a bad way, but in a sense that yes, I understand what will help me to attain the goal that I have in my mind. That kind of practical attitude. And it can show ability to, like I said, form good relations, and it can make person quite resourceful, clever, smart, logical, and in a sense where you have intelligence to pave your way in society. And it generally gives a sense of intelligence where you are able to understand that this is how real world works, not just bookish knowledge. The Moon Rahu are like, they give tactfulness. If Mercury is also powerful, and particularly if they are sitting in Saturn and Mercury rashis, Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, then it can show tactfulness, diplomacy, keen observation, and all the things which I mentioned: cleverness, smartness, resourcefulness, all those things. So it enhances that. It gives a very good sense of business, good business acumen, how the things work, how the money is made, how the wealth is made, how finances are done, how businesses are done, everything. This kind of attitude it shows. Then very excellent for certain fields like sales, marketing, advertising, media, mass communication, entertainment, all kinds of business. If you have to see yogas for them, of course. Then science and technology fields, particularly IT, computer science, electronics, communication, telecom, writing, transportation, supply chain, e-commerce, delivery, logistics, fashion. They become very good for these fields. In these particular rashis, it can make person quite creative, particularly in the sign of Venus and Mercury. So very creative, innovative, imaginative, expressive, artistic. It can show that. So Moon and Rahu, in these rashis, they function very well. But there is a catch. The catch here is that if Moon is afflicted and Lagna Lord and Sun are not well placed, 9th house or Jupiter are not that strong, then Rahu is greed. Rahu is never-ending desires. Rahu is immorality also. So it can induce negative mindsets as well. So if this situation is occurring, what I discussed, then it can also bring a lot of greed, lot of selfishness, gold digging attitude, cunningness, manipulation, deceitful attitude, corruption, conspiring nature, dishonesty, and blinded materialism with total hedonistic personality. Nothing matters other than fulfillment of sensory pleasures. Now we will talk about water signs. So whenever Moon and Rahu are in Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces, these are water signs. Scorpio is a very sensitive sign for both Moon and Rahu, because here Moon and Rahu both get debilitated. You have to check this placement very carefully. But in water signs and Moon, they both are emotions, and Rahu is explosion of things. So it can show explosion of emotions as well. So this becomes a very important situation where you need to check it very closely. It can show excellent results, which we'll talk, but it can also induce negative aspects as well. A lot of negative things are also possible with this situation if they are in water signs. But in general, in water signs, it can make person quite emotional, hypersensitive, introvert, not extrovert or ambivert most of the time. Most of the time, it makes person quite introvert, reclusive, intuitive. Either person will love solitude, or they will be forced to be in isolation. They don't want to, but they are cut off from the world forcefully. It's then it can also show very unsocial nature, like don't like to have a lot of fun-loving, party-loving guy. So that kind of thing. Then it can enhance positive or negative emotions depending on the Rashi Lord, wherever they are sitting in the Rashi. So Rahu's only duty is to enhance, explode, expand. And Moon is emotions. So if it is well placed, having good combinations like Lagna Lord is fine, Sun is fine, the dispositor, the Rashi Lord is fine, then it can show enhancement of positive emotions also. And you need to check 4th house and 4th lord also in such situation, because 4th house is your mind again, your feelings, emotions. So positive emotions, like it can enhance kindness, compassion, empathy, care, love, romance, these kind of things. And if it is negative, afflicted, moon is damaged a lot, 4th house is damaged a lot, then it can induce negative aspect, negative emotion, anger, jealousy, bitterness, hatred, vengeance, resentment, sadism, grudges, holding grudges, living in the past, never happy, all the time in a state of distress, that kind of thing. So that can also be seen. Moon Rahu, if they are together in water signs, then they can give, you have to see yogas, but yeah, they can show a lot of trauma or abuse, any kind of abuse in life. Whether person will do the abuse or will face the abuse, that depends on the chart. But verbal, physical, sexual, or any kind of trauma which had a long lasting impact upon you, that kind of thing, then it generally makes person what in these rashis, but in general all rashis, but in this particularly, confusion, indecisiveness, fickleness, insecurity can be seen, mood swings, anxiety, loneliness, easy depression, dissatisfaction, detachment, and disinterest in things. Initially you found a lot of interest, then later dissatisfaction, disinterest, detachment from the same thing is occurring. Meaninglessness, it can also enhance the procrastination, laziness, disorganized behavior. Here person is not going to be a very disciplined guy. In these rashis, particularly Moon Rahu, make person more like, I am laid back, with a laid back approach. It's not like I am all doing everything on time and following a routine. And it can show disturbed sleep cycle. Moon is your sleep, so most of the time we see night owls with these people who just are continuously waking up throughout the night and having insomnia or any disturbed sleep patterns, irregular food intake, eating anything anytime, no regular food intake or cycle of food is there. Then it's not always bad. Remember that Moon Rahu in water signs, they can make person really intuitive, insightful, with great depth, high skill for research and analysis, and it can enhance ability to, like I said, psychic abilities can be seen. You have to see combinations with this, not all the time, but they can bring this. And a sheer deep insight into anything, that kind of thing. It makes person very imaginative, creative, artistic, love for travel, nature, water, music, all kind of arts. It takes person more into spiritual life, liking for Jyotish, occult science, mysticism, spirituality, philosophy, yoga, meditation, longing for liberation. These kind of things can be seen in water signs easily. And it is very good for medicine, life science, healing sciences, then any kind of like psychology, yeah? These kind of things. So Moon Rahu are not always bad in these. Like I said, they are very good if they are very fine. Spiritual yogas are occurring, this particular placement becomes excellent for giving balance. Initially it can trouble you, but it can ultimately give you a sense of clarity, sense of direction, that yeah, now I know what matters, and person focuses more on a balance between material and spiritual life. But if this conjunction is occurring in these signs and moon is damaged, afflicted, 4th house not good, Lagna Lord, Sun not well placed, the Rashi Lord where they are sitting not well placed, then the more these situations occur, high chances that it will induce, first of all, the negative emotions which I discussed so far. Second, it can create all kind of psychotic mental disorders, from simple anxiety, depression to chronic clinical depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, OCDs, or any psychotic problems, psychiatric disorders can be seen. Anything, suicidal tendencies, bad for mother. Either mother will pass away, mother will be abusive, relations with mother will be bad, absent mother, anything. Then it can show continuous pain, trauma, suffering, abuse, loss, instability, and no peace in life, if it is bad. If it is good, it can show these things, but they will ultimately motivate you to seek higher knowledge, help you to motivate towards, motivate you to seek spiritual life, who you are, connect more with arts, connect more with social service, makes you more kind, compassionate, empathetic towards people's emotions and suffering. But if it is bad, then none of these things, it will continuously show a bitter, resentful personality, and these instability or no peace in life can be seen. Very bad for family life. It can show toxic environment, family environment, concentration problems, learning disabilities, no attention span, highly influenced by people, and most of the time it is bringing bad company. Then education problems, academics are suffering. In females, it can show all kind of gynecological problems, hormonal imbalances, high tendency for endometriosis, uterus problems, abortions and miscarriages, or hematological issues. So obviously these are negative results, but like I said, these are the general results of these this conjunction in various rashis. If you are experiencing any of these negative results in your life, I have made videos on moon and Rahu and how to improve these situations. The practical and astrological remedies are discussed in detail in those videos. You can watch them in the I button in the above card section, and their link is shown in description below. You can follow the remedies. You will have to follow with consistency. Then you will see that gradually I am improving in the things if they are bringing any negative life situations in my case. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you like this video. If you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more information, reels, Facebook post. You can connect on my Facebook page, Instagram, website. Their links are shown in description. Otherwise, we'll meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.